Hi, this is Father Andrew Ritchie, and you're listening to Catholic Inspiration, a podcast from my website at studyprayserve.com. These homilies and presentations form part of my ministry as a Catholic priest for the Diocese of Superior. And now I invite you to open your heart to some Catholic inspiration. Today is Saturday of the 30th week of the year, and our Gospel reading is Luke chapter 14. It's verse 1 and then verses 7 to 11. On a Sabbath, Jesus went to dine at the home of one of the leading Pharisees, and the people there were observing him carefully. He told a parable to those who had been invited, noticing how they were choosing the places of honor at the table. When you are invited by someone to a wedding banquet, do not recline at table in the place of honor. A more distinguished guest than you may have been invited by him, and the host who invited both of you may approach you and say, "Give your place to this man." Then you would proceed with embarrassment to take the lowest place. Rather, when you are invited, go and take the lowest place, so that when the host comes to you, he may say, "My friend, move up to a higher position." Then you will enjoy the esteem of your companions at the table. For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, but the one who humbles himself will be exalted. This particular passage, which kind of gives a practical point about humility, is very instructive. But it's instructive because it's a very human quality. You realize, friends, that this virtue for humility, to have a humble heart, often misunderstood and mistaken, is something that we might get a little more insight if we look at its opposite, pride. Pride is when our ego dominates a scene, when we have to, in some sort of comparison with others, win. We have to look better, be smarter, be more important, more famous, more powerful, more wealthy. Pride, by definition, is a comparison, and we're out to get the better of the deal. Humility, on the other hand, doesn't look at a comparison at all, but rather strives to be very honest and also at the same time very open to those around us. So here you have people picking a place at table. So you have this beautiful banquet, and people are starting to choose the best places. This is where Jesus steps in with this particular example. Don't take the best place. Who knows? Someone else might have been invited who's more important than you are. And then won't that just let the air out of your tires as you have to get kicked down to the lowest place, and people will talk. This idea of go take the lowest place. It's an awareness that says, gee, why do I think I'm so important? Why would I think that I'm so worthy? You know what? I'll just go sit there. And you know what? Jesus says far better to have the host say, come up higher, than have to be kicked to the curb and sent down to the lowest place. It's a practical way that we can understand that in God's eyes, we're all redeemed, we're all made, we're all blessed, and we're all burdened. And we can honestly acknowledge that, we've all got our faults and we've all got our failings. By taking the lowest place, we just simply humbly admit, I know that I have my weaknesses and failures. I know that there might be others in the room who are more important than me. I know that perhaps, just perhaps, there might be plenty of good reasons why I shouldn't be sitting at the place of honor. But when we have that awareness towards others, and when we're willing to not have to be competing with others, then humility can begin to take root within our own hearts. Interesting point about humility. It is a virtue that's needed in every stage and station of life. That its opposite, pride, can happen. We think about pride for maybe those who are uber wealthy. Well, it can also happen in poverty. Pride can happen anywhere people are tempted to make a comparison with those around them. Pride, because it is always comparative in nature, can thus exist in every aspect where there are human persons connected together. Which also means that humility is a virtue that all of us can aspire to, because that virtue will assist us and help us in all of our interactions with the people we meet. It's very interesting. Humility is often underappreciated, but pride is always disliked. Folks, today may we reflect then on a practical way about how are we aware of the people around us, and how do we willingly choose the lowest place at table, meaning places of relative unimportance. To take, for example, not the spotlight, but be able to encourage others, to show their goodness, to show their fruitfulness in the world, and to recognize that, you know what, the world is bigger than my soul and my ego. May we today be honest about the role of pride and the need for humility in our hearts. May God help us. May God bless us all. Hi, this is Father Andrew Ritchie, a Catholic priest for the Diocese of Superior. Friends, I share these homilies and presentations in the hope that they inspire your faith and foster a desire to live for the Lord. Now, for more information, you can find me at studyprayserve.com or use your search engine and put in Catholic Inspiration Podcast, and you'll find me in any number of outlets that are out there today. May God help us, and may God bless us all.